In this week's episode, we discuss the following reflections of Indy reaching 30 years old and Goran's point of view on it. Why would you ever want to walk to the North Pole? But then we look at someone called Preet who actually did it. Why the Bel Air is not the Fresh Prince of Bel Air and how it's totally different, and why Power, the TV show, is highly overrated. Got a bunch more shit to carry on, but give us a shout and please follow through to find out more. Cheers. Welcome to another episode of the Indy and Doctor Podcast 2022, second episode edition, episode 54, 53. I don't know. You guys let me know. Let us know what you think. Do you think is one episode a week enough? Do you think we should do more? I'm more than happy to listen. Goran's eyes are lighting up. He's not very happy with this accusation or statement. Anyway, what's going on, people? Goran, how you doing?
2 episodes a week, yeah? Yeah, pushing boundaries now. Done 1 year. He's like, yeah, double it up now. Double up the work rate.
Double up. Everything.
10x, no.
10x.
It's the old Goran. And then I know you're going to say, it's only 2 hours a week. You can't spare 2 hours a week. Like, bro, you can't spare 2 hours a week. Like, for me,
can't
like,
spare 2 hours a week, Goran.
I know you're going to say, like, Salah. You don't know about the prep time, the time it takes to set up this desk with the light and the microphone.
Okay, 10 minutes.
Make sure nobody comes in.
2 hours, 20 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of time. Post-production, pre-production.
That's me.
Yeah, but you know, it's
the
royal we, it's just I'm there in spirit.
Okay. You feel my pain too, yeah?
That's it. But no, yeah, life is good. How's it feel to be 30?
Oh yeah, shit, man, I'm 30.
Old man.
You know what? I don't feel any different. But you have a lot of reflections, don't you? Sit there.
Right, let's get into this one.
And you're like,
I was genuinely surprised you were 30.
What?
When I saw the balloons, and your mom showed me the balloons, and I was like, oh man, I thought you were like 28 or 29. I really didn't think there was just 1 year between us. I don't know why. I just thought you were a lot younger. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then it made me think about, when I was approaching 30 and the whole thing about, we have this thing, I think men specifically, about where we should be at 30. Did you have any
exactly.
sort of... tell me about
that. You're 31, isn't it?
I'm 31, correct.
Yeah, exactly. There is this whole like, shit, what should I be doing by the time I'm 30? Like, what does this mean for me?
Yeah, what does it mean? That's the question.
Here? And it's just like...
what's here? Yeah, what was here?
And you start feeling a little bit like weird, isn't it?
So when you're early 20, mid 20s, what was when I am 30, I expect myself to be at...
I had no expectation of what I was going to be.
That is good.
Because I was 25, I was still in banking, right? So I was just sleepwalking through every day. That's it. I didn't have an expectation of what I wanted to be. And I think this is one of the things that sort of scared Sanj when we first got together and we were dating. She kind of thought like, this is a lost child. He doesn't know what he wants. He doesn't know where he's going. Because essentially I'd started as if I was 20 again at 26.
This is marketing.
This is post traveling. I'm just like fucking around in marketing, doing like part-time jobs. And I was literally starting as if I was going back 6 years, but I didn't know where I wanted to go. I was just taking it day by day and trying to see where it was going. And then when 30 came about like a few days ago, I was like, okay, where am I now? And then I was like, here's where I am now. Okay, I've moved cities, new job. I've moved cities, new job, recently married, cool. I'm like, that's a lot compared to what I could have asked for when I was 26. That's a lot of change that I wouldn't have thought would have been possible in that
4 years
of time. In 4 years.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, okay, maybe the first part of my 20s was sort of just doing the status quo. And the second part was doing a bit more of what I wanted to do. And now I feel like my 30s is just going to be focusing on myself, my relationships with those close to me, and my wife, not in that order, but those are the 3 most important things.
Sanj, what Freud says is that nothing a man says is ever by mistake. So clearly is in that order. So if he's putting you last, I mean, you really may want to have a discussion about his priorities, right?
Thanks, man. Thanks.
I love it, man. Okay, so 30 to 40, because the feeling I had when I had 30 was like, when you're 20, you think you're invincible. But the problem is you don't know enough at 20. This is what I reflect on now. And so 20 to 30, even I thought that would be my most kind of like dangerous period, you know, where I'm going to just like take over the world or whatever. I realized when I got to 30, I was like, okay, 30 to 40, man. This is my
People say that
I'm
it's the
good
best
now.
10 years because you've got more disposable income, you know a lot more, and you're just before having kids or something. So
Yeah.
it's when you sort of have the best 10 of your life. And then obviously you've got your friendships pretty much set in stone. You've got the people around you essentially set. So it's quite liberating. You know, everything's quite stable.
That's a really good word. Yeah, exactly. At the moment, I feel very measured in life. Like, and the thing, you know, when you said about the traveling and the trying and stuff, so Stephen Bartlett, you know, he's the guy on Dragons and the New Dragon. He talks about this concept about to work out what we want from life, which is essentially what you were doing, and you had the realization. And a lot of people don't get that. They're kind of, you know, sleepwalking through for 50, 60 years, but you had it. You woke up, I want to do something else. I don't know what that is. So what did you start doing? You started experimenting. He talks about only by increasing our experimentation rate do we then get some answers. Because then you reflect, right? Something happens, you get feedback from that situation. You like it, you don't like it. Something good happens, something bad happens. Whatever happens, feedback. And that feedback then means you can start doing something. I didn't realize it's been 4 years, man. I still remember you at Deutsche, you and Sunny, and yeah, like that doesn't seem like it's 4 years ago to me.
That was 5 years ago. No, that was nearly 6 years ago now. That was 2016. Wow. That was nearly 6 years ago. But I quit Deutsche in 2017. I think Sunny quit like the year after or something like that. No, he quit towards the end of the year because he moved countries, didn't he? So yeah, he did things a little bit later than I did. But he was it was just a whole change, wasn't it, that everybody was going through. And yeah, 30, it's like I'm not upset by it or anything. I'm not unhappy. I'm just sitting here thinking like, okay, what do I want from the next 10? Because I didn't know what I wanted from the first 10. So it was in the first 10 years of 20. I didn't know what I wanted in my next 10 years of 30. I was like, okay, now what do I want? And you start writing things down. And I'm like, I used to be really bad at this. I used to write down goals at the start of the year, and then I'd never revisit them. And I'd shit myself when I'd look at them again. And I'd feel really bad about writing them, or like I haven't done anything, or I haven't done anything towards it, because I used to set the goal so big that I could never attain it. So for example, I wrote in one of my goals a few years ago to be an expert in videography. And I was like, that's very broad. And what is an expert at videography? And where does that want to go? And how do I learn all this? And I just wrote that down. And then I wrote down like the how and like sub goals, but even the sub goals were too big. So I was like, all right, this isn't cool. And then it came to like March, I was reading it. I was like, I don't want to read this anymore. I feel bad. I feel like I've wasted a quarter of the year. So let's bin this and not do it. And now this year, I'm like, all right, I'll write some stuff down, and then I'm just going to keep them very small, because if I attain a small goal, I can then add another goal on top, and then you can start forming better habits. And I thought, this sounds like the biggest load of bullshit ever. It sounds so stupid, but genuinely, that's how my mind works. Other people are different. They can just do wild things out of the box immediately, and they're fine with it. But I'm a creature of habit.
So I do a little bit of both. So there is an expression which I like, and it's, you know, good is the enemy of great. And that's the whole concept of, if you do set too small a goal and you achieve it, then will it push you? So that's one side. So what I do is I do kind of what you do, and then I have what I call my stretch goals, my unrealistic, stupid goals, really out there. So I have the stuff I kind of work on. And you're right. And we all know this because we've been through some sort of management, smart goals. You know, it's all about making them specific, so you will go and hit them and execute. And, you know, a goal without the steps, the tangible steps, is just a dream. Nothing happens with it. Yeah. And then then I have my kind of stretch goals. What I found, this is how in 2022 started very differently to my normal kind of thing, is normally when I start in January, it's like, you know, pedal to the metal, and I will just do loads and loads of different things.
Well, in January, straight away.
Yeah. First 45 days. I had to think about first 45 days a year for the last 3 years. 3 years? 4 years. It's kind of based on the concept of when a US president is sworn in, not that I'm obviously a US president.
Inauguration, the first 90 days.
First 100 days. They have this thing about
100 days.
They have this like, you know, their, what do they call it? They lay out a portfolio essentially, and they say, this is what I'm going to achieve. This is what I promise, right?
They make a pledge, basically.
That's it. And then they have to, deliver on those things. And so I had this thing about 45 days. I don't know where it started from. I was like, 45 days, I'm just going to just go ham. And then it sets me up for the rest of the year. And then this year came, and off the back of a very busy year last year, and I was like, I'm going to simplify even more. And I was like, there's a couple of big things that I need to do. And if I do them this year, life is good. And that's it. And that's really what it is. So like for MedX, me and Perrin have a very, very clear goal. This is the two things we need to get off the ground done. With coaching, with Dino, obviously we've had on the podcast. It's like, okay, we need to do this and this. We're working on that big thing with Ali Abdal. That's going to be releasing soon. Want to get in touch with a few more YouTubers. That's going to be a goal this year. With Jim, it's 100 kg bench press. We're working towards that. So, and I was like, I want to go to the cinema more often. I've started this year with a film every week, every Tuesday.
Bloody hell, you're going to watch some shit films.
No, they're pretty good. I watched Kingsman.
Yeah, so
Matrix,
far. Talk to me in July when film season's not in.
No. I'm not saying I want to do it every week. I'm just saying I want to watch more films. As in, I'll watch films when there are films I want to watch. I'm not going to go just to watch.
You made it sound like I'm going every week.
No. I mean, again, I'm in a good position where, Star City is 10 minutes from my work. Right. So we go on like a Tuesday or Wednesday. So we went yesterday to watch a film called 355. It's from the producers of Bourne. It's essentially 5 female agents from different spy agencies. It's pretty good. It's really good, man, actually. And yeah, so I go straight after work, so I can get there. We can get there for like a 4:30 show. You want to yawn? It's yawn, man. We're doing that weird thing.
I don't want to yawn. It's mean. I'd rather make the nasal.
We're like with all the air comes out your nostrils. So guys, if you can't see, Indy's trying to suppress his yawn because I'm clearly boring him on the podcast.
You're not boring, man. All right.
It's okay. So yeah, we always catch this like early show, which is great. We go on a Tuesday or Wednesday, so we get Meerkat 2 for 1. So 2 cinema tickets, £5, man. And they have this great
2 for 5, or is it 2 for 10?
No, 2 for 5. So Star City standard ticket is £5 anyway, so you get buy one get one free.
Oh, there you go. So buy one get one free.
The buy one get one free. So yeah, that's been the start of my year, and it's like actually I want to relax more. I actually want to do more of what I did in 2020 when we had the forced mandatory lockdown, like when gyms are closed and everything.
Okay.
And I was all the businesses on hold. I was like, actually, I want to do less this year. I want to focus on some big things, execute on those, but just have more time to do the social stuff.
So I think it's more around like balance, isn't it? It's more around having a decent balance and doing things in moderation to an extent where you feel like it's helping you, not hindering you. So
yeah, I'm not and enjoying the process.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go out my way and eat bad food for like a month because that doesn't really work in my benefit, IBS and all. But I don't think it's gonna be useful if I do that. So I'm like, okay, sack that off. What's actually gonna help me in this year? All right, let's start setting some mini goals. Like, let's do meditation for 10 minutes a day. Okay, fuck 10 minutes, too much. Let's do 5 minutes a day. Just 5 minutes.
You got your special candle thing, haven't you?
Yeah, but I'm like, just 5 minutes, done. I can make a commitment. I'll put a reminder on my phone each day at this time. Bam, let's go. And then I'll do that for a month. Cool, I achieved that. 10 minutes, 15, 20, etc. Slowly, it will start ramping up, right? And then you can start doing it more and more. And you can embed that into your day-to-day. But if you start doing 4 or 5 things brand new at once, you're fucking your system up, man. You got to do little things at once.
Yes. Here's the analogy. It's when you have any habit you want to instill, because that's the question I get asked most as a coach. How do I instill good habits? People know what they need to do, but they won't do it. The reason why they don't do it is because, remember, simple and easy are 2 different things. People think they're synonymous, i.e. they mean the same thing. For example, as a doctor, Indy, I can say to you, Indy, you should do 30 minutes of exercise each day and eat 5 fruit and veg. Very, very simple for me to tell you. I've just told you. Not easy to do each day. So simple does not equal easy. Okay. People think it's the same thing. Oh, yeah. And that's the other thing is then what is simple can be effective. People overcomplicate shit that really doesn't need to be complicated. So for example, like I said there, if you go for a walk every day for half an hour, right, and eat like a balanced diet or whatever it might be, your health generally will be fine.
That's exercise done.
Yeah, but you see what I mean? Like that is simple, but it's very, very effective. Now, the other thing, like you said, is you slowly increase your appetite once you get used to something, because then the habit is formed. And so it's reduced the barrier to entry. This is the number one piece of advice I give to people. Again, another example. Oh, I want to go to the gym. I haven't got motivation to go to the gym. So I tell people is, right, what you need to be doing is you need to be leaving work. You need to find a gym on the way home from work. This is an example, right? Because then you're going to get it in, you're going to go home. If you go home, then you're going to try and go to the gym, you're not going to have the motivation. Reduce the barrier to forming a new habit.
Yeah.
I want to eat an apple a day. Forget it. Eat one apple a week. Get used to it. Increase it, like you said. So, yeah. And this is interesting now. I was in the gym a few weeks ago, and obviously, Jamie, and we're just looking at it. He's like, yeah, all these people are going to be here for January, and then they're going to disappear.
Bro, I went to the gym. I fucking hated it because I go in the evening sometimes, and you can walk in, and it's on the app. It's the gym. Yeah, it tells you the capacity of how many people are in there.
The gym.
Yeah. So I went into it. I went into the app. I'm about to scan in. It was over 100 people, and I'm like, I've been here for 4 months. I've never seen it go past 50. Right, 100 people, man. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, it's shit because you're running around, you're doing an exercise, you got one eye on the next piece of equipment, and you may even cut your own exercise short just to get that piece of equipment. And it's it's annoying. I'd rather these like just fuck off. Right.
But they will at the end of January. Like, you basically what you've got now is you got the 5 day a week because the guys are going, yeah, man, I'm gonna go ham, I'm gonna gym every day, every hour, and then they just lose motivation and stop.
Yeah,
it's because
sometimes you can't.
Motivation is an espresso. It will wear off. What if you want to maintain something, you need discipline, not motivation. The two different things. Again, people make those things synonymous. They're not the same thing. These are the type of things when you get to 30 years old, you reflect on and you look at and one piece of advice I'm giving a lot of other people, I'm doing a lot more this year and actively writing these things down is I'm being a more active observer.
Yeah.
So things I see, behaviors in other people and in myself, I'm writing down a lot more. That's very,
what kind
very
of behaviors?
Thing.
What, like toxic traits?
No. Just I'm not talking about negative, not specifically negative things, but even good things like how people can be great at some things, or small habits, micro habits that I can observe somebody doing and be like, okay, that's why that's effective. Or even my own behaviors, like, okay, why did today I feel really good? Okay, because today was like this. So why was it? What was it about today that actually meant that I could be in a flow state for longer? Things like that. But being able to observe your own behavior, very, very important.
Yeah, man. Observing the things you do good and the things you do bad are very important. Because I can sit here and just list off all the things I'm really bad at, but I'm really bad at listing things I'm good at. So it's hard to sit there and just be objective about yourself without being your own biggest critic or being overly harsh on yourself.
It is for you. You're just generally a ducky person.
Yeah. For me, I'm sure there's other people out there that feel the same way.
Just you, yeah.
It's just me. It's just an indie problem, yeah.
The indie syndrome.
But yeah, man. When you're 30, people think that you should have house, everything, kids on the way, all that stuff.
Like life figured out.
It's not that straightforward, man. You're always figuring out life because you have life changes. Yeah. After you have a kid, your life changes. When the kid starts growing up and goes through different phases of their life, whether it's toddler years, child years, teen years, adult years, your life is changing. Nothing's ever constant, man. You got to keep on moving and changing with it.
That's the beauty of life, isn't it? And that's the whole point. Things have value because it's not fixed. We need, and we always talk about this, you need spontaneity in life. Without spontaneity, if everything is consistent, if I gave you a book which laid out every single thing that's going to happen in your life from now until you're dead, that's boring, man. Like he's doing again, he's yawning. Stop bloody yawning, right? Spontaneity is the spark of life. Now, the other thing you said there was interesting. Remember, change is inevitable. Okay?
Yeah.
Change is inevitable, but growth is a choice.
Why is growth a choice?
Because some people, they will just moan about change. They'll just stay there and be like, actually, okay, it's changing. But the seasons change, the day changes, the sun goes up, the sun goes down, your hair goes gray, you get older. This is happening with or without you, man. Like, you don't have to worry about, you can't stop change. That's not where you put the focus and time and energy. You focus on the growth and the opportunity that comes with the change. And you enjoy the experience. And you're absolutely right. And I remember Jim Rohn, he said this really cool thing, man, because again, coming back to this whole notion of men specifically feel like they should have everything worked out by 30. He was like, if you had it all worked out till 30, what is the point of the rest of your life?
Relax, innit? Do nothing. Be an FX trader.
No.
Cryptocurrency, man. Let's go to the moon. Come on, jump on board. Home trading.
Blow your brains out, man. These things are not sustainable in life. I think Joe Rogan said it. Guys, if you listen to this, just YouTube this thing. I think it's called Joe Rogan's. Just type in Joe Rogan motivation, and it comes up. And he basically says, because we are not designed for comfort. It's one of the best things. Actually, no, I'd say yes. One of the best things I listened to last year. This 10-minute clip. He's yawning again. I'm God,
not yawning again. I'm sitting
there.
And I took man. That one I genuinely took a deep breath. Stop it. However, I'm Rogan. If you type that into YouTube, there's a lot of different compilations, so you might have to be more specific.
Yeah, maybe I will post it. Maybe I'll do that. But he talks about we're not designed for comfort, and he uses this analogy like he said the epitome of life is not to sit there and have somebody holding grapes and putting them in
holding
mouth.
Grapes and feeding it in your mouth. Because within about an hour, you'll be like, "Get the fuck away from me!" Yeah,
that's exactly. That's pretty good. Yeah. You've seen it. He basically says that.
I listened to the full episode. He said it in. I think it was him and your favorite guy, Jordan Peterson. That's what I think it was.
Probably. Okay.
I think it's from that episode. But yeah, he just says like you're meant to. There's a lot of change you have to go through and struggle.
Struggle is good because you learn.
Life is going to be just too easy.
Yeah, and we don't function. This is the problem. We like too much chaos. You burn out. You go crazy. You need lots of little micro chaos because it sharpens the mind and gets you to do those things that you need to do and flow. Without mental stimulation, we go crazy as well.
There you go.
Balance.
What were your feelings going into 30?
Yeah, so initially when I was going into 30, I was like, man, I've started these businesses and, I should be like close to being a millionaire. And that was probably, and even that millionaire thing is a very interesting thing. Everybody wants to be a millionaire. Why has that become the benchmark of what it means to be successful? And then I think I was listening to Sam Harris, and Sam Harris said, well, the top, if you look at America, the top 1% from an economic point of view in America, the stat is $400,000 a year. It's not a million. So why do we all have this thing about a million? Maybe it's just because it's 7 figures and that's the next thing. So there was that. And then when it came, like Chandi asked me this question, she was like, okay, so there are various different ways to measure success. And one of those is obviously financial. And I was like, yes. She goes, okay, but then tell me this. What is it that you can't do now that you wish you could do? So I sat with that question for a while.
Okay.
What can you not do now that you wish you could do? Yeah. So things specific to me. Not like, I can't buy a private jet, but it's not something I want to do specifically. So what can you not do now in your lifestyle?
Good question.
I thought about it. Yeah, very good question. I was like, mate, you're the coach you are. And I was like, yeah, life is pretty good. I see my friends. I want to see my friends. We can go on a date night whenever we want to go. We go on, 16, 17, we went on 18 holidays. Lockdown came. Still did 7, 8 holidays in the UK. Can take mum and dad on holidays for their birthdays. We can cover their expenses. So like, she's like, what can you not do? You can go cinema if you want. I shoot a podcast a week. I work when I want to work. She's like, what don't you do? And I was like, yeah, that's a really good point. And that actually really, really grounded me and settled me. And I was like, I have everything I need. And now it's just about doing more of what I do, scaling it. And then the thing that's been filling my head recently is about giving back and giving back in a meaningful way.
Yeah, for you, it's the mental health project you want to work on, isn't it?
Correct. Contribution. And that ties back in with something I read about Tony Robbins ages ago at the start. And he was like, happiness comes from 2 places. One is progress. Progress equals happiness. Like what you talked about before early on the podcast, micro wins, right? So, we're doing the podcast, right? So we add in a logo, then we have an editor.
Yeah. Imagine if we did everything scaled up straight away. I'd be like, I don't know what I want. You have to slowly do things. You have to do things badly at the beginning, and then allow people, and then allow yourself to get feedback, and then move forward. It's one of those things where, like, I can't remember who said it, but somebody who said, if you're challenging someone to sort of be better, you have to praise them for doing the thing they're trying to do better badly first, and then gradually over time they'll naturally get better at it, and then they'll master it. But you have to give them that praise. Because if you hone in on the thing that they do badly, considering they've embarked on a new challenge, they're going to feel really bad about it, and they're never going to want to do it again, or they're never going to want to come to you for that, and they're going to walk away. But you need to praise them for doing things badly. Then over time, they get good at it, and then eventually, they'll accomplish something out of it and they'll take it up a level. That's what you need to keep doing to people. And I'm like, oh, never thought of it that way.
No, that's really, really good advice. So yeah, progress equals happiness. That's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is giving, selfless contribution. Obviously within Sikhi we call that seva. And within that, it just feels good. Like, it's when you help somebody and you genuinely help them for the intention of helping somebody, and you see that how it benefits them, you can't put a price or value on that level of gratification that you get. And so for me now, it's again at 31, I look at people who are 20 and I realize that this is a different generation and they're going through things I used to go through, and I have a wealth. No, that's a bit cocky. I don't want to say that. I have a wealth of knowledge. I have the knowledge that I have, or I have the wisdom that I have.
You have a bit more experience compared to them, life experience.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm in a position where I can impart that with them because I have, channels and platforms and things to do that through. And so it's that actually. It's like, okay, so how do I do that? Which is what I'm sitting with at the moment. But yeah, so life is good at the moment. It's very balanced.
Yeah, man. Oh my days! Did you just knock the mic over?
I didn't even touch it. It just fell by itself. You see, I caught it. And it'll be on the
visual. You just about caught it.
Wow, that was a good catch. I am Dr. J, man. This is why, man. These hands.
No. Anyway, I have a topic for this week.
Go on then.
Did you hear about?
Did you know
Polar Preet, or AKA Harpreet, but people call her Polar Preet?
This is a man, lady?
No, it's a lady who's a British Army officer. She reached the South Pole on foot.
Hence Polar. Okay.
Polar Preet, but her full name's Harpreet. But anyway,
Harpreet, and she's a
Chandi. She's from Derby.
In the army.
Yeah, so she's a physiotherapist in the army. I don't know how much that counts, but yeah.
Are we getting her on the podcast?
I mean, I don't know. We can do.
Sounds like a very inspiring person.
It depends on how this part of the segment is going to be interpreted, I guess. Right, okay. I got nothing bad to say. I'm like, full respect, man. It's incredibly difficult to do something like that.
Charity, or what was the?
I think it's just for herself. She's she's the first person of color to go ahead and do that.
To walk there,
and
wow.
she only fell short of the world record as well, like only slightly.
Time wise, or?
Yeah, time wise, it took her 40 days.
Wow.
And she did it, and she finished it a week ahead of schedule.
Where did she walk to and from? Well, obviously to the polar, but where from?
I think she sets off at a certain point outside the Antarctica.
Right.
Antarctica or Antarctica? What is it? No, the South Pole. Which is which? This is a question I should know the answer to, isn't it?
One you have penguins and one you don't.
Yeah, so I'm just going to say the South Pole just to simplify things. Yeah.
Okay.
So 50-50. South Pole, yeah. And she has to lug this like massive amount of massive equipment behind her as well.
Which is her supplies.
Which is all supplies, yeah. Weighed up to like 90 kilos. Lugging that daily for 40 days. In the snow. Never-ending snow. Army, cold. Minus 40 degrees.
Yomping. In the army, when they train, like for example, say they're in Dartmoor and they're doing like an exercise and they carry all that weight on, they call that a yomp. That's what it sounds like. She says yomping. But what it is I remember I had a mentor actually who did there's a version of like a marathon that you do in this environment, and only a handful of people have done it in the world, and he's one of them to have done it. And he was just saying about how many calories you need to consume each day in that environment, because you burn so much.
I'm just sitting there thinking like how, okay, I have so many questions. All right.
Okay.
Many questions. One of them is,
right,
how do you consume food in a temperature that cold? Is it all like power bars and stuff?
You mean the logistical aspect of
actually... Yeah, like how do you consume food? How do you get changed at that temperature without freezing to death?
This is all really good reasons why we should have her on the podcast. So you can
of course. And we can explore that afterwards. But thinking of all the logistics behind it, how do you get phone signal? Oh wait, you don't. Okay, so how do you?
No, you have a sat phone.
You have a sat phone, but then does your smartphone freeze up past a certain temperature? Like
you just don't take it with you. You don't take it with you. You don't take it with you. You're thinking about this way too much.
Apparently, Karan, she took something with her because she was able to listen to voice notes of friends and family, giving her encouragement along the way. I think they were pre-recorded and saved to her phone.
Right.
But yeah, she had that. So I was like, oh, so you must have some sort of listening device to be able to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly it's possible.
Yeah, clearly, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it's an inspiring story. We always hear about Roger Bannister who ran the 4 minute mile. No one did it before him. He did it, and our school kids do it. Like it's just, it's amazing. That's really, really inspiring.
Reaching the South Pole on foot, and then when you get to the end, do they just airlift you out of there, or do you have to walk back? Right.
You are doing, like, kids are like when they ask her why
Yes,
to everything.
why?
Why?
How does that happen? How did you do this? How did you do that?
You're doing that when it's like, okay, it's
No, I
amazing
love it
feat.
because I'm like genuinely, I'm intrigued. That sounds like a big logistical challenge, and also you must have to tell people intermittently where you are along the journey in order for them to track you down and see where you are.
I would, yeah, because obviously there is a health and safety aspect, man. Like if you
Big
need
time,
help,
especially if temperatures that cold.
I presume you carry like a flare that you can fire up, or something tracking device is already on you. You have to presumably check in with certain people twice a day.
You have to do check-ins, I think. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there must be mandatory things. But and another guy, again, coming back to the guy who did this run, like a lot of his skin just peeled off as well.
Oh God!
You show me some of the pictures, like his neck, his nose, it's just and his parts of his cheek and stuff as well. So he did it like age 60, man. He's like an old dude when he did it.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty rated.
Genetics ain't a thing, clearly.
Preet. That's
another really thing to add on to her list of achievements. This is apparently a warm-up. So she wanted to cross the entire South Pole, not just get to the middle. And they said to her, well, you can't cross it because you haven't got any experience. So she got to the middle. Meaning... Crossing as in like go from one side of it to the other.
No, but what does that mean? Across a stretch of water, is that what you mean? Or?
No, I think so. She started from one point, got to the South Pole, yeah, and then she wants to go over the South Pole and then to the other side.
Okay,
so
fine.
So imagine,
yeah.
I don't know how
it's
much
like this.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, in the curve shape, I think, or whatever.
Okay.
But I just thought, whoa.
But the Earth's flat, yeah.
You're a badass, man. I think the Earth is flat. Do you think the Earth is flat?
The Earth is flat, yeah. You just go to the end, you just fall up.
Yeah. The Earth is flat, and then there's just like for her to carry on. There's an ice wall around the globe. So she's done like half a lap of the globe. So she went from north to south. Now she wants to go north to south, back to the other way around. North to south to north. Let's go. Fucking idiots, man. Honestly, the Earth is flat. Pottekam. Absolutely.
Put your NASA top
there
on.
You go. There's your word for the week. Pottekam. Pottekam means stupid work. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't have the same impact, does it? It doesn't have the same impact in English.
Yeah. That's true for most of our music, man. If you translate our music that we listen to, the stuff we dance to at weddings. Translate that for me.
Say that again. Right, so today I'm going to drink. What does G karda mean?
Like, I want. I really got the feeling for it.
So I'm going to drink more today. I really got a feeling for it. Pour me another drink.
Yeah, and with all that, like dancing to it.
Yeah.
just bad, isn't it?
Don't forget the In the Club remix that we all heard. Everyone loved it. Everyone loved it.
I always think though, like, did they get permission from 50 Cent for that? Like, how are they talking to 50 Cent? I just don't get it.
Bro, are you telling me that True School has permission from all of these hip hop tracks that he sampled?
Yeah, but that's my point. So how's he not like sued them?
Definitely doesn't.
So come on, he's not like he's small either. Like loads of millions of people listen to his songs.
They're not.
Why are they not getting sued?
I don't think that they're big enough for that. That's just my speculation. Maybe
we do stuff on Facebook.
Maybe it was cleared.
We do stuff on Facebook and make videos, and when we don't use royalty-free music, we get flagged up and taken down.
It's done. Yeah.
And you do that thing on Spotify, and you're telling me these guys, it doesn't make sense, man.
I don't know, man. Maybe they clear it with the record label or whoever it is, or whoever owns the royalty of some sort. But yeah, that Harpreet one, the 50 Cent In the Club remix, I don't think that was cleared. I don't think that was cleared at all.
Go in there. It's your birthday.
Sounds horrible, man. In there.
Yeah.
Horrible. Anyway, going back to Bel Air. Oh, stop it, please. You're singing
Go
my
on.
name. Oh.
I know.
Anyway,
Tell me.
going back to Paul Preet, yeah. Do you think you could do that?
I think I would have to train for it. I think I can do anything that I have the willingness to do, but to do it
So are
like
you willing to do that? I should maybe paraphrase the question.
no,
No.
no. Like if I think about it, even these, I have nothing against people who run run marathons, but it doesn't particularly inspire me. Like something that I find, I don't. For me, that's not progress. People train for marathons, run marathons. It is a personal milestone for them, and I completely understand that. But for me, that doesn't get me going. If I can master a sport or a skill, that's much more kind of inspiring to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, not personally. But yeah, if I have the willingness to do something, I think I can do anything.
I mean, fair play, man. I personally don't think I could ever do that. I like being cold, but I don't like being cold that much. Right? You know, when you're in bed and you like have the blanket on at night and you like flip it off, and then you wake up in the night and you're cold, you put it back on. Yeah.
Get that chill.
Yeah, you like it, but then you're like, oh, okay, cool. I don't think I could wake up in the middle of the night and be minus 40 and be like, oh yeah, this is nice. No.
Especially on your own.
Yeah, especially on your own.
Like solo 40 days. That's so you remember we're only looking at the physical, but the mental.
Oh yeah, the mental side of that for 40 days. Jesus.
Yeah, that's
they must have put you through a load of assessments in order to clear that up and just think, how are you going to cope under this pressure? What do you do when this goes wrong?
Some obviously a military training obviously is coming handy because
it must.
If you've gone through, if she's regular, so full time, army employed, then the physical training is tough. So that's obviously going to help, but it's not your average environment, that you train in. Yeah, that's tough physically and mentally. A lot of people do it for that reason. I've got a friend, Indy. Do you remember that speaking event I spoke at where I had that other guy produce that thing for me?
Oh, yeah.
You're jealous, remember?
Oh. yeah.
I want to do that.
I do want to do that. But yeah, go on.
It's coming up, actually, by the way, if you want to come with me. So the end of January, he's doing the event again. He's invited me again to speak. Anyway, we'll talk about that offline. Guys, if you want to come and see me live in action from the stage, then you are invited on the 24th of January, Monday, in Teesside Redcar up north, where I'll be talking at an event called Strength to Succeed. Anyway, what was my point? I forgot my bloody point.
I don't know where you were going with this.
What were we talking about just before this?
Polar Preet.
Yeah. Mental, physical
toughness, difficulty, willingness to want to do
a
marathon.
Army. Got it. Yeah. So the guy, my friend who's organizing this event, he's ex-army and he ran a double Ironman back to back, which is a world record. No one's ever done that.
What's an Ironman?
Yeah, I don't know the definition, but it's basically just like triathlon things. So he did swim, bike, run, but to silly amounts. And he did 2 back to back, and now he wants to break it again and do 3. And he's produced a film on it. You can go on YouTube. Stephen Green, that's my friend's name. You can watch him do it. His wife's just run 100 miles straight. So marathon is 26.3 miles, 100 miles.
Yeah, I mean, I heard about that girl who was on Rogan who did the Moab 240. Yeah. She was incredible. And yeah, I'm sure it's possible for some people to go ahead and do that. It just doesn't, like I said, that's silly. That doesn't appeal to me at all.
Yeah, as in it doesn't get you going.
Yeah, but clearly it gets them going, right?
No, but this is the key. The key thing is when people do these things, I don't think it's enough for somebody to do something to prove something to anybody else. So obviously, the personal motivation to do something like that, that's the key thing to tap into, and to have the resolve to get it done. I think that's the bit we take away, and you can, use that in something else. That's why I said
to want to do it is something else than actually physically doing it.
No. Yeah, that's obvious. That's true. What I'm saying is, whatever that person's driver or motivation, that's the bit you can take away and can be used in other things. So for you, there will be something that you have the willingness to do, and you will go and execute on it.
Yeah.
Right, which will be your walk to the North Pole, let's say. Yeah, and that's the way I think about things. If it's important to me, I'll do it. Define what's important to you. doing
If
things
it's
for the wrong
important to you,
reasons.
do it.
Yeah. If it's important, if you do things for the wrong reasons, like Tony says this as well, he's like the worst thing in the world is you achieve something and you still feel empty or void or unhappy.
Yeah, imagine going up the wrong ladder.
Stephen Covey, absolutely. Every rung takes you to the wrong place faster. Is your ladder against the right wall? That's the question nobody asks when they're young.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't go into banking, guys. It's a trap. It's a trap.
But from our previous episode, how much they get paid? How much is that blood money?
Oh man, hundreds of thousands. You have to literally give pieces of your blood and health, but it's worth it, isn't it? For the dollar or the dollars, man. So yeah, fair play to Preet, man. Or we should probably call it Harpreet, then. Let's just be real. Preet, Harpreet, Preet Chandi. She's 32. She's from Derby, Midlands Massive.
Derby.
Let's go.
Derby. Yeah.
Maybe she knows True School.
Maybe she knows Sergeant as well.
Maybe she knows Sergeant. Maybe she knows everybody in Derby. I have a feeling that everyone in Derby just knows each other.
It's a Punjabi thing, isn't it?
Because I think there's like 2 Gurdwaras there, and that's it.
Walsall has 3. We used to have 2. We have 3 now. So yeah, spread out a bit. There you go. How many have you got? Well, you must have hundreds.
Yeah, way too many in London.
Yeah.
There's 2 Gurdwaras on the same high street in Ilford.
I know one of the Gurdwara. I'm just thinking about which is the other one.
There's 2.
I know Karamsar Gurdwara.
Karamsar, and there's another one on the same road, and it confuses people all the time.
Ilford. Where did you get married?
Barking.
Not Ilford, yeah.
Barking Gurdwara, no.
But your Gurdwara has 2 entrances. Yeah.
It did have
2 addresses. 2 addresses, yeah.
2 addresses because it's on a corner. It's on a corner, yeah.
I love it, man. When I got to your wedding, I thought it was at the wrong wedding.
Why?
Because it was so early, like no one was there.
Yeah, no one was there because we were.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was like, oh my god, we must have missed the wedding or the wrong. No, missed the wedding. We're at the wrong wedding, man. It's like Chandi, there's no one here. And then we saw Sanj. We're like, we're at the right wedding. There's no one here from the groom side, so we will go and hang around with the bride.
Smart idea.
That's how we became Masi Masas. I mean, she
don't rub this in. Don't rub this in, man.
Sanj was there for us, and you weren't. Unfortunately,
you know what? Yeah, you're the only person that I will answer my phone for on my fucking wedding day. You got to bear that in mind. Yeah, I looked at my phone. People were calling me, and I'm like, the audacity of you to fucking call me today. Yeah, but when you called,
tell the audience.
I was like,
what was the reason for the call?
When you called me, I was like,
what was the reason for the call?
Yeah, hang on. Let me just go through the motions, man. You're ruining the fucking story. Okay. You call me. I'm looking at my phone and I'm like, do I take this? Do I not take this? Is he going to ask you something stupid? Or is this important? All right. Clearly he's got married before. Okay. Oh. He must know it must be important. Okay, let me answer it. I answered it. Yeah, Indy. Yeah. Your dad's asking where you are. Your father-in-law. He's asking you around the corner. I'm like, yeah, we're nearby. Okay, bye.
And then he lied on his wedding day on the way to the Gurdwara.
We were on the way. We were just backed up in that big ass queue. Right? Yeah, it would have been punishment if it wasn't for the flipping petrol crisis. That's what caused all the queues.
Oh, I remember, man.
There was a petrol shortage that weekend, man. I was surprised half my family showed up from the Midlands, honestly.
I was at the Shell petrol station at like 4:45 in the morning getting petrol. Remember, this is the day where my Google Maps hadn't changed. I thought it was going to take 3 hours to get to you. And I got angry at Chandi. And
yeah.
Remember that day. But see, we were there on time. But anyway, we divulge.
Petrol, man. Anyway, as you were saying, have you seen the new release for the Bel Air trailer? The Fresh Prince of Bel Air trailer?
I haven't seen the trailer. Heard it on the radio yesterday. Like, caught the end of somebody saying, is this exactly what we need? A remake of Fresh Prince? And I was like, I remember hearing it a while ago, and then I didn't think it was like real. So tell me about Bel Air. Like, obviously I know the original. So what's this?
So it's not a remake. It's not a relaunch. Right. It's basically a brand new show. But they've taken the same concept. So what they've done is they've taken a kid from West Philadelphia and put him in Bel Air, right? But it's not lighthearted or anything like that. It's based around like real world issues, such as gun violence, gang life, etc. Getting moved into a posh area, Very, very posh area of like people that are really rich and entitled, living the very high life. And
So
it's
as
like, oh,
in,
okay.
because the thing, the great thing about Fresh Prince, and again, man, we're at 30 when we look back at the show. Like I can sit down and actually appreciate how good that show is. Same with My Wife and Kids. There are some real good lessons that come out of the
Life
episodes.
lessons in it, man.
You know what I mean? But you weave it into comedy, like it's actually genius, man. Like I remember the one where Will's dad comes, that episode, but then he like buggers off.
Why don't you want me, man? Yeah, that
Why
one.
do you want me? He's crying with Uncle Phil.
Mm,
And then there's a bit where Will's good at basketball, and Carlton's like, "Why don't you come to my games?" It's like,
yeah,
there are certain the lessons or the pool. Remember the pool one when he gets hustled at pool, and then Uncle Phil comes,
no,
he
Uncle Phil
kicks him
comes
on
and
his ass.
saves it. Yeah, kicks everyone's ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, and same with my wife and kids, man. Like sex before marriage, having kids, responsibility, throwing them out the house. Like there was so much gold weaved into comedy, which is why you watch it. And I think it's a brilliant show. It really does tackle issues. Yeah. So what's the difference now? Like that obviously did that. So why
this
have
has
it
no comedic
comedy
side to it? This is just
why?
real world
Just
drama.
Different take on it.
So they've turned it
so it's more like a series. Basically. It's a series.
Yeah, it's a series. Yeah.
Whereas you think like more like Fresh Prince, as I remember it, was more like standalone
20-minute
episodes. It's standalone, isn't it? Like it's just things that are happening, but they're kind of linked, but it's not like a continuous story.
There kind of was a theme. So you got Will in school, you got Will in college.
Yeah, I mean loosely linked, but it wasn't like each episode led to next episode. It's not Dragon Ball Z. It's not like a continuous story. Yeah. But you're saying this one is more like that.
Continuous. Yeah. So if you ever watch Power, did you ever watch Power?
Mate, come on.
Okay.
It's a big rich town.
It's a big rich city. You mean you fucked up the lyric already? You fucked up the lyric. You're like, have I seen it? It's a big rich town, you idiot. You fucked it up already.
I come from the poorest part also. Yeah.
So, yeah.
This is why why your mom wanted me to sing at your birthday party. Do you know where that came from, by the way?
I don't know where that came from.
So when me and Sans went to pick up the pizza that was already at your house, different side story there. Great, the planners went. Yeah, apparently I think I sang something like as a joke on the podcast. Your mom heard it and she was like, I want him to sing.
Yeah.
Because I was really surprised. I was like, Shindy is clearly the singer. I dabble. But she was like adamant. She's like, you need to sing, man.
I'm so glad you didn't. Thank you so much for ducking that.
I should have sung Power. I'll sing Power next time.
Yeah, next time don't. Anyway, going back to the point, Power. Right? It seems like Power Book of Tariq or whatever it is, it gives me that kind of vibe where it's like, oh, okay, it's about a kid going to a posh school and it just has that kind of gang feel. And I'm like, this seems like very similar to it. I hope it isn't. I hope I'm proved very wrong because I'm a big Will Smith fan. I'm a big geek about it.
Is Willie involved?
He's the producer.
Right. Okay. And cast wise, anyone will recognize?
No, I think it's all new characters
Independence.
that not many people know about.
So yeah, it's going to be all American. So it's an American production.
American production.
What's it going to be on? What can we see it on?
Apparently, it's coming to the UK the same week that it's released in the US. It would just be on something like Sky Atlantic or something.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice. Okay.
I think it comes out end of February.
And you've seen the trailer. So what was your
when I saw the trailer, I was like, this looks nothing like the Freshman to Bel Air. It looks like a serious thing. And I just kept thinking in my head, this looks exactly like Tariq in Power. And it's getting it just brought back flashbacks of it. I wasn't a fan of Power towards the end. I thought it was just really shit TV. It started really to wear. And then really apparently everyone's like, oh, these side spin-off shows are really good. And I just think it's not. Like I went through the anguish of watching all that for an unfulfilling ending. And I was like, okay, I don't really want to watch all these side episodes.
The whole show was about Ghost. And I liked him as a character. But yeah, towards the end, it was just everyone was going to die.
It was like, come on, man, hurry up, and just tell us where it is.
Kill each other. And Tariq really annoying, man. It's just annoying.
He's just an annoying little shit.
Yeah, top of the bed. I just saw him out, man. Like,
I'll never forget the scene where Ghost just pulls out the gun and wakes him up in the morning and puts it to his face. And he says, "Wake up." The
best.
Wake up. Sleepy time's over.
What's his wife's name?
Oh God, she was annoying.
Yeah, Tasha.
She's the girl who always gets cheated on in every film. That's
Yeah.
pretty much what I
And
reference it as.
there's an episode, my favorite like bit where he's with her, and this is when obviously they
He
clearly
pushed her
he
in
taps on the head. And he's
forehead.
like, "You dumb little," whatever he calls her.
Yeah, yeah. And then
It's
pushes
so
her in the head with two fingers. And I was like,
it's
yo,
so funny.
what?
Like Ghost is gangster, man. I don't give a shit.
That's so
And the whole, I mean,
demeaning.
the whole thing. It's like Godfather 3. He's just trying to become legit. All he wants to do is become legit, and they keep trying to pull him back in. And Tommy keeps trying to pull him back in. And he's Bachala, he's drug dealer, blah blah blah. And he's like, I don't want to do that shit anymore, man. I want to run my club. I want to build a building, after my door. I just want to be legit. And they just keep, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Struggle through, man. But okay, when's this airing? Fresh Prince?
End
What's
of,
CTM?
end of it's not called Fresh Prince, it's just called Bel Air. It's
called
out
Bel Air.
the end
Okay.
of February. End of February.
Nice.
It looks like a
We're
very
gonna watch.
different
We're
take.
gonna watch it.
Everyone's gonna watch it because
Yeah.
it's signed up. It's got the co-sign of Will Smith, so you're gonna want to watch it. It's
Yeah.
got that nostalgia appeal. It's got that feel about it that everyone knows is quite familiar. You're gonna hold out a lot of hope towards it. So I really hope it does well, but I've got a feeling it's one of those shows where I'm gonna have to mentally prep myself to want to watch it.
Okay.
Can you see what I mean? Like if we watch The Apprentice in the week,
Yeah.
we know it's going to be lighthearted. You know what's going to happen. Bam, bam, bam. Something like a drama series. They take like a bit of time to warm up. Then it like has this big spike of drama at the end, and then a cliffhanger. That's the theme of every single series that ever airs. And then the next season is just like trying to match it or be a bit better. There's never like continuous drama the whole way through. That's why Game of Thrones was so good, because you didn't know what was going to happen in each episode, if it was going to be significant or if it was just going to be shit.
Right.
So
I still haven't watched Game of Thrones.
It was the unpredictability of it that people fell in love with. It wasn't formulaic. A lot of dramas now are formulaic, and that gets annoying. But let's hope it's good, man. Let's wait and see how it goes.
On that note, recommendation for you and Sanj, BBC production, only 4 episodes, very enticing. The Girl Before, just watch it.
The Girl Before
is dark. Just watch it.
See what I mean? I'm glad you told me it's dark, so I got to mentally prep myself for this shit, man.
God, you're a very special person, aren't you?
No, I am. You know what? Yeah.
You know what's funny? There's like Indy wants to go to the North Pole. Level of stress. Indy needs to watch BBC show. Same level of stress.
It is the same level of stress for me. Oh my god, that's so fucking true. It's true, man. My level of stress is the same. I don't have it.
Guys,
when I watch some TV shows, I start getting anxious. Sidney Gal. Like,
guys,
if
you want more podcasts, where I'm delivering therapy for Indy, just let me know, okay? Because I know this guy.
Oh man, the anxiety. Bro,
Chandi has that as well.
I get anxiety just watching certain TV shows that are like just normal reality TV. I'm like, I can't do this. It's too much to take in. Like, this is getting a bit much.
Sorry, you get anxiety about something that's not stressful in the show?
No, something that is stressful. Like, if there's a cliffhanger, I'm like,
yeah.
They got me, and I'm like, I need to know what's happened.
They got me. Goes on all the.
They got me.
Go on Google what happens at the end of Explain.
No. I don't even want to do that. So, for example, me and Sanj, we're watching Married at First Sight, in Australia, because it's the best version.
Oh,
bro.
God, this is show
like
what's the name again? The nickname for the show?
Married at Maths. That's it.
Maths. That's it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's 31 episodes long. Yeah.
Right.
Each episode's an hour long.
Big investment.
I've binged this thing with her in the space of like a month and a half. Yeah. And each
is
episode
nearly an
I'd
episode a
watch
day. Yeah. Okay.
Near enough. Yeah. Actually, no. Okay. I'll take it back. So we got married in September. We started watching it in October. And then we only started taking it seriously during Christmas time. Yeah.
Taking it seriously.
Taking it seriously. Like putting the real hours of grinding,
Responsibility.
Life being really hard and whatnot. Right. So,
okay.
Yeah. We started to watch it, and then I start getting like annoyed and upset at how other people were being treated. And I'm like, this is annoying. That's bad behavior. This is shit.
You're feeling for them.
I'm feeling for people because I'm like, that's toxic. That's bad behavior. That's not nice. That's cool. That's bad. Oh, I'm happy for them. I'm not happy for them. Oh shit, I need to know what happens next with this thing. Like, where's it gonna go? Is it gonna last? Like, it's just shit like that. And I'm like, okay, I can't do another season like that for about a year.
Why don't you watch better quality things?
You know what? Goran, try it.
No,
Honestly, I never thought I'd say this.
I've tried it.
What did
It's
you
not
try? The
very-
UK version?
that or like Love Island, like all this shit is just
No, no, no. Love Island is no. This isn't the same as Love Island. Let's not get it twisted. Okay, it's not the same.
for
Not the
me,
same.
this type of TV. I get why it's addictive, right? It's not that I don't get that, but for me, well versed drama. Like I'm watching The Crown now. Absolutely love it. Absolutely
See,
love it.
I'm not sure if I want to invest in The Crown, man. I'm like, do I want to watch it? Do I not?
You have ill feelings for the monarchy. I think that's
I
what
know I
biases
do,
your
but then
opinion. Yeah,
equally, I
yeah.
have heard it is a very good drama show, and apparently
Oh,
some of it
phenomenal.
is accurate.
Yeah, it was obviously a bit of a alarm, but yeah, it depends why you watch it. I watch things from there's always a pleasure hat for me, but the other hat is always learning. That's the thing for me. There's always something you can
So what do
glean
you
from these
learn in
things.
The Crown? What do you learn how incestuous it is? What?
No, no, it's just give me like a real example. Okay, for example, there's a bit in The Crown we're watching now when Prince Charles is young. Okay, so the Queen and Prince Philip are parents. So Shinny and I are gonna have kids at some point. So it's okay. So looking at from a monarch's point of view, what is important that their kids have skills wise? What schools do they go to? These are obviously real places, right? So for me, it's that type of stuff. Okay, what's the value of eating college? Okay, what's the value of going here? What skills do they learn here? So that's one example of parenting. But those are the type of things. It's not like I sit there with a notepad and think, okay, yeah, Shins, we're going to do this, this, and this. It's more just things fester in my head, and I develop ideas based on what I see, and that's true for everybody. You're exposed
So
to
you're going to try and do the
stuff.
royal family model of parenting?
No, 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 that's
It
not like
don't
what
work
I
out
hear.
well.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely, man. I mean,
You can't even defend it. It doesn't work out well at
no,
all.
it doesn't work out well
Oh.
because they're just exposed all the time, and you have a limelight on them all the time.
No, it's not even exposure. It's just the family's cracked everywhere, no matter what you look at. You got kids saying they don't want to be in the monarchy anymore. You got
Yeah, yeah.
divorces. You've got pedophilia. Like, yeah, it's a bit much. It's a bit much. And you've got a
But
queen that didn't want to be a queen, but she was given the title because somebody else stepped down.
abdicating, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
No,
I'm
but see,
like,
that's really interesting. Again, seeing from her point of view. Like her sister was a much more natural monarch, right? So which I didn't know, but then you get an insight into her life as well and how difficult
but
that was.
again, I would be the idiot that takes it all at face value, and I'm like, oh, I got to fact check all this now, and then you're jumping into a rabbit hole willingly of trying to distinguish what's fact and what was fiction in it.
Yeah, that's not the general themes are factual. The specifics may not be, but that really doesn't matter to me because we're a different mindset. I don't care about the fact checking as such. It's general broad stroke principles. Um, but that's just the way I just do things when I watch things. My intention isn't my primary intention is never to learn, is to enjoy. Second intention is to learn, but I'm not actively making notes on something. But you do glean some things, and then what I have found, and there's a really good book by Tim Ferriss called The Tools of Titans, right, where he's taken things from loads and loads of entrepreneurs, massive books like a dictionary, and he says on the first page, he's like, don't try and read this book cover to cover. Because what I've put here is there are some things that work for some people, some things that work for other people, and that is the way life is. So when I see things, I'm always thinking, okay, that's a good concept or idea. How do I apply it to my own life? Do I want to do that? And if I do apply it, let me do it and then test it and reflect on it. So that's what I like to do. And I think, film as well. And this is why I love film, and I know you love film. It's just packed full of. If you watch good quality film, good quality drama, theatre as well, you can learn a lot. It's just a great medium. Although I enjoy reading, conversations is another one.
You can learn a lot from a good storytelling
because we are beings of stories. Like you want to teach me something about Sikhi, right?
Well, yeah, if you think about it
into a story.
As a kid, what are the things that are told to you on a regular? You're told a story, whether it's in a book,
because you remember the morals, the things that come out. If you said them like a list of rules,
but also
context.
It gets the kid to go to sleep as well. Like, let's not.
That's the primary function.
The primary function is that. The secondary function is, oh yeah, there's a moral to the story, woo, right? But also, it's like, are you asleep now? Can I go and have my?
No, there was something. My mom told me recently. So, mom is a deputy head teacher, and she does a lot of work around. She does a lot of work around thinking and how kids should be taught how to think. And she was telling me this stat about so the value of reading, let's say, right? I think they did a study about middle-class parents who regularly read to the children versus children that don't get read to. And by the age of 3 or 5, I can't remember which one, the difference in the number of words that child has been exposed to is 30 million. That's
What?
how important. 30 million words.
Because they've been read to.
On a regular basis, yeah. And again, that's all at a subconscious level. But the point again is, you talk about micro habits at the start, and people, it's start very young. Again, you're not going to, the ROI on that is not the next day they can read and write, but down the line, let's just say they had to play a game of Scrabble. That person's got a much better, repertoire of words compared to,
Yeah, maybe. But then if I told you I wasn't the most well-read person as a kid growing up, but now I like books, would you believe me?
Yeah.
So
you said it that way.
Right?
No. That's not the point of the start. I'm just saying, but why, if I'm a parent and I know that, like I know that now, I'm like, okay, I am going to be regularly reading to my kids and giving them a variety of kind of different types of books, primarily obviously story-based. But even like, stuff like Harry Potter, man, I think that's going to be, I'm looking forward to reading that at bedtime to the kids. It means I get to read it again. So yeah, I thought it was interesting. 30
stories,
million
man.
words, man.
I think there's an inherent want on our behalf to always want to tell a good story that has a happy ending and stuff. It's just, it's this weird instinct that all of us want to have and share.
Well, all films based on stories, aren't they? I mean, it's all underlying it. And there's something, it's the good prevailing over evil, as the hero and the villain, whatever it might be. There's only a couple of common theme stories in every book or film. And it's those core kind of things that we always relate to. It's relatability. Stories become relatable because we can see ourselves in the story. And that's what we like.
Whether it's a good or bad person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me guess, you saw yourself as a good person all the time as a kid?
Yeah, but nowadays I proclaim myself to be Voldemort, so I'm really liking
Why? Why do you proclaim yourself to be Voldemort?
I don't know, man, but it's I don't know.
You're a Bebop man. Let's not try it.
I'm not saying, I know Voldemort's pretty evil, but I just like the concept of being the Dark Lord. It's just something at the moment.
Why?
I don't know. I just like it, man. It's powerful.
Weirdo, man.
It started as a joke. So remember, there's
started as a joke, and you start embracing it.
Do you remember the joke started from?
Where?
The joke started from when I used to organize Qatar's birthday parties, which are Facebook groups. Right. This is really funny. This actually involves you because you were the first person to always respond to the invite, like without fail. You're the first person. I used
to live on Facebook, bro.
You're the first person that responds, and you're the first person that pays for something that needs to be paid for. Those are your two definite things.
I'll take that.
And so when I used to create the group, I used to say, the time has come now for you all to swear your allegiance to the Dark Lord. That's how you just start.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm
now you love it. Now you can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the end of this week's episode, isn't it, Doctor?
Dark Lord Doctor.
No, just Doctor. Just Doctor.
Dark and dangerous.
You're not Bally Jag, pal. Anyway. See, I know my Punjabi references too.
You're married to your Mrs. Man, Sanji.
Bro, I knew about Dark and Dangerous way before her.
Listen, you should be thankful.
Look, man, okay? I know all the words to Aja Sonia remix Simran voice at the beginning. Let's not go over this. I can do the recital.
End of the podcast, you want to reshuffle your priorities from age 30 to 40.
What are they?
What do you tell me? Number one was
huh?
What was number one? Your three things.
You know what? I know what number 3 was, and I'm gonna put that number 1, but I can't remember what number 1 and 2 was. There you go. So that's enough, innit?
What was number 3?
Number 3 is wife, innit?
What about wife? What do you want to do?
Huh? Prioritize the wife from 30 to 40.
What does that mean? Tangibly?
What do you mean tangibly?
What does it mean prioritize tangibly? What does that look like? How do you know if you prioritize?
Spend more time with her, develop our relationship, do more things together. Build a deeper emotional connection, you know?
Don't call her certain words.
Listen, I will never call my wife any abusive words. Okay, relax.
But if you do it once, it's okay, man.
It's not okay. It's not okay.
And listen,
that domestic violence episode is not okay.
Listen,
all right.
If you have a joint account and you pay for a bill, that's okay, man.
That's domestic violence, bro. As far as I'm concerned.
Okay, you can't have joint accounts. They should not exist in your world. Okay.
They shouldn't. No. Or if they do, you must have a card each. That's my understanding. Everything 50-50, man.
Okay.
Very important.
Very important.
Like I said, Bally Jabpal, I know all the words to the beginning of the remix from that little girl Simran. Okay. I've done it for you. I'll do it again. All right.
I
knew that way
have
before
a
her.
feeling that you are Simran. This is revelation, guys, from today's podcast.
Why do you think
that
no, it's actually
Indy,
him.
Galson. How old were we when that song came out, roughly?
I can't remember.
We were in primary school. Okay.
Right.
Which means you had not gone through puberty. So, guys, this is the big reveal today. Simran was actually Indy. You heard it here.
No, it's
first.
Bally Jabpal putting the voice on. But okay, whatever makes you happy.
Indy.
Why would I call myself Simran?
It's your other name, your pseudonym. It's like, you know, authors have a name. Your name.
Why
is
would
Simran.
I have a pseudonym? I was 3 years old. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Simran.
Simran, yeah.
You can call you Simran now.
Thanks, man. Okay, Josh Karan. Right.
Oh, God.
Game over. Thank you. Thank you. Breathe.
Sends chills through my body, man. Like he just adds this. Oh God, enunciating my name in such weird ways. Like, it's just God, it's like daggers through my heart, man. God.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for reaching this week's episode and conclusion, whatever you want to call this. Please like, please share, please sub. You know what? I think, Karan, we should do this little announcement at the end. Yeah. And then we should save like a little quick segment afterwards. Right. And then that way people have to listen through to like, comment, share, subscribe, and then announcement. And then we have like a little bit of a segment to add on to the end. You know what? We might start doing that going forward. Just so that way, when you guys get past this little bit, there's more to listen to. And you got no excuse. You listen to the message. You don't want to miss out on the content, do you?
Very clever.
There you go. Look at that hack.
Genius.
30 years old. Yeah. Know my shit now, man. All right. Cheers, guys. Catch you next week.